Well, uh, well, Billy, we're so excited to have Billy Carson here with us today. He is the creator of Forbidden Knowledge, Inc. He is a best-selling author of 6 books, and he is a producer of shows, an entrepreneur, a researcher of ancient civilizations. He owns a multimedia company dedicated to bridging ancient wisdom, science, and modern consciousness. He takes people on amazing trips to Egypt and gives them very interesting experiences. Um, and he's doing many other things that we are really excited to learn more about, asking him some questions on some other interesting things that he has been working on. So, welcome, Billy, for joining
Thank you.
us.
It's good to be back. I appreciate it.
Hey, Billy, let's just start right off. Why do you think this knowledge is forbidden? That's a strong word.
Yeah.
Where's that come from?
Well, the fact that the knowledge is forbidden means that it's not that the knowledge is not accessible, but for so many eons, advanced knowledge or higher levels of knowledge have been restricted for a chosen few. If you go back in ancient times, ancient texts, there was always this hierarchy, and the people at the top of the apex of the pyramid of knowledge always had the most, and they hoarded it. And then there would be a level beneath them that would give a little bit more, but not all of it. And then would be a level beneath that. Typically, that would be the working class person, typically even a lot of slaves. I mean, in ancient times, in most indigenous cultures, especially like even in ancient Egypt, you'd have to walk around naked if you were poor to make sure you weren't stealing from the pharaohs. So there was this hierarchy there, right? And at the highest level, you had the language of light. At the lowest level, you had basic Egyptian. So it's now you fast forward into the future. Here we are today, and again, there are things going on within political offices, congressmen, senators, and so forth that they know about that's coming down the pipeline. They have advanced foreknowledge of it, foreknowledge, and we can't get access to it until it's usually too late. And we're always responding to something that's happening. They're always ahead of the game and able to make decisions before the situation unfolds. And this is why they've made so much money in the stock markets and everything else. So it's like knowledge, and even in ancient civilizations, there's a small group of people keeping it tied up and suppressed at the highest levels just so that they can maintain a status quo and keep the people out here lacking knowledge of self, lacking the ability to realize how powerful we individually truthfully are and how powerful we are collaborating together. And they use divide and conquer tactics to keep us apart. So we're always fighting each other instead of working on creating solutions for the problems.
That's a beautiful example of past and present. So thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
What's an example that you feel comfortable giving of something that you perceive is coming down the pipeline soon that we should be responding for and getting ready for?
Oh, well, that's going to be, I had talked about on Regina Meredith's show. Regina Meredith's show was Open Minds 2018. She asked me a question. She said, AI is up and coming. What do you think about this up and coming AI? And I said, well, it's coming. It's going to be here very soon, and it's going to bring us a lot of great things, great advancements in health and longevity and other things in small business, maybe even large business. But I said, there's going to come a time where at least 1 million people will be laid off in a year. And it just happened in 2025. So from 2018 to 2025, we saw that happen. And so what's coming now down the pipeline is AI is advancing into something called AGI, and that's artificial general intelligence. And also right beyond that is ASI, artificial superintelligence. Now, what's happening is this is creating something like a potential economic contraction because we're going to have this cycle, almost like the Yuga cycle, where we have AI and automation coming in and taking away jobs. So we have all the people that were working here and buying goods, services, and products now losing their jobs. And then we have people, over here that would love to buy products and services, but don't have any income to buy the extended or excessive amount of products and services now being created by AI and automation. And then on the lower left corner of the circle, we have an economic contraction, which is a complete economic collapse unless they give some type of a basic income to every single person, right? And that will just be more like a superficial Social Security type of a check. So what will happen is they're going to create this rift with the extremely rich and the extremely poor, and there will be nothing in the middle. That's being wiped out and cleared out now as we speak. And what's going to happen is by 2030, whoever hasn't made or manifested a significant amount of abundance so that they can learn how to turn income into employees, turn dollars into employees, and invest in other things and to continue to expand through this new economic system, they're not going to be able to make it to those levels. By 2030, if you're not there, it's going to be very difficult, not impossible, but very difficult to get to the higher levels of income. It'll be a lot more, there will be a lot more people in the lower levels. People who were in the mid level will drop to the lower levels. It's going to take a lot of advance and forward thinking to be able to make that move. And that requires a person to pivot, understanding that what I'm involved in now is going to change and evolve and most likely won't even exist in the format that it exists today. And that's only going to take about 3 to 5 years before this transformation happens. So imagine we're on this superhighway, right? People getting on the superhighway now are going to be able to exit before the AI and automation completely evolve what we know as economics. And the people that start getting on around 2027, 2028, 2030, they're going to hit a traffic jam.
Mm.
And so I built an app called keepworking.ai. It's a free app. It works on any website. Keepworking.ai. It looks like a website, but it's really an app. And you can type in whatever field of work you're in. It will tell you low risk, medium risk, or high risk for getting taken over by AI and automation. And then we'll give you two pivots. It will show you two different things that you can do within that same genre of work, but utilizing AI and automation. And then it gives you an executable business plan for both. You can just tap on it. It will export it into Word or PDF with a step-by-step instruction and a business model and a full business plan, and it doesn't cost you any money. And that way I'm
Wow.
bringing solutions to problems.
Wow. That is amazing solution. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very, very much. That's
Yeah,
I'm actually pulling that up as we talk.
very
Yeah.
needed.
Remind people again, it's keepworking.ai, and I
Yeah.
pulled it up. Here it is. It's an app,
Yeah.
future-proof your career. So anybody that really wants to check it out, go to keepworking.ai. Thank,
Thank you.
thank you, Billy.
No
I
problem.
I also saw that you did a video, I think, on your podcast of about yeah, having multiple streams of income, that is
Hmm.
really required right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, long gone are the days of having one stream of income. I fell victim to having that mindset. Prior to the 2008 real estate collapse, I was doing very good in email marketing and a marketing campaign, marketing company, TV ads, the whole works. And I had built up a lot of revenue, and then I actually ended up exiting that company in a sale. Company got acquired and eventually sold. And I did a great exit. I walked away with millions of dollars. And then I said, what can I do next? And so I started pouring money into real estate, pre-construction homes, flips, and land. And at one point, I had over 400 properties across the United States.
Wow.
I didn't see this one. I did not see that bubble coming. I did not see that one. And it hit me hard at first, but at least I still had a lot of land. And so I was still moving the land, and that was helping to make up for the difference. And then all of a sudden, the only company, only bank allowed to lend on land countrywide, eventually they got shut down by the feds, and then there was no more money for land. So I took a big hit. I didn't go back to zero, but I lost a lot. I had to start cutting back. I couldn't spend as much money. I told my kids, you can't, my girls, women, I said, girl, y'all can't go to the mall every weekend. I got rid of some of my vehicles. I really had to cut back. I
Yeah.
didn't lose everything, but I really had to make a major decision. And that taught me a big lesson. One stream of income, all my eggs in one basket, very dangerous. No matter what you think or how strong you think an industry is or an economy is or a particular area of earning revenue is. And from there, I started diversifying. So what I do is I create synergistic companies and programs that work together, but also could function individually, and so that when one is making money, another one might not be doing as well. Something might even be almost like seasonal or could be affected by a tweet from the president. You just never know. At least I have money coming in, at least from 3 or 4 places on a consistent basis every month at a high level. And sometimes they alternate. This one is stronger than this one, and sometimes this one is stronger than this one. But overall, revenue never stops flowing. And so multiple streams of income, very, very important.
Um,
Yeah.
what are, of course, we're, collaborating with the Conscious Life Expo, and this is kind of our preview
Mhm.
show that we do every year.
Yeah.
What are you going to be presenting at the expo this year?
I'll be talking about the fractal holographic nature of the universe. I'll be tying that to ancient civilizations, and how ancient civilizations viewed the universe as a whole, what they knew about it, how they understood that we're living in this illusory world and that we're tied or tethered to higher dimensions. Our true self is in higher dimensions. And I'll be talking and really breaking down the science behind the creation method of a fractal holographic matrix and what it really means for humanity. It doesn't take away from us being spiritual beings or being real. It's just explaining the science behind the actual process of this creation. And I'll also be talking about how to utilize this knowledge to manifest and how to tap into this quantum field that now has finally been made known public in quantum theory. Just about maybe now 7 or 8 months, they finally came forward and even talking about the quantum mirror that they were able to develop, and they're able to send photons into it and get photons reflected back, but with different bytes of data on them. So they're thinking that these photons are coming from the future. But I'll be teaching a lot of the science, but also the manifesting, how you see behind the veil and how you manifest your reality. How do you manifest abundance? How do you become the architect of your own life? And so I'll be combining those two things together.
Oh, yeah, the manifestation one, is that the post conference?
The post conference, actually, I believe that's going to be separate. The post conference is going to be about the underground labyrinths of ancient civilizations and sites around the world, particularly right now, of course, focusing in on Egypt. But I'll be talking about some underground labyrinths that are there and some ones that I've been in that haven't been talked about, and showing some of my footage from there as well. And I'll be showing and explaining where they lead to, how vast they are, and the network of these places, and talking about potential purposes, indigenous stories from around the world that have all experienced a similar event, all the way from the North Americas to South Americas, all the way across Egypt to Turkey and beyond. How these beings, in some way, came and influenced people underground, and most likely, these people, these beings, helped influence them to also construct or advise them, or even did it themselves, how to construct these vast underground cities.
Wow. And do you take people to see some of these things on your tours to Egypt?
Oh yeah, we take
Yeah.
them and we take them beneath the bedrock. We have VIP access. So when we go to Egypt, we don't just do the normal tourist thing. Matter of
Mhm.
fact, when we show up at sites, the tourists actually have to leave. We have
Wow.
there's no tourists. It's just
Wow.
the Forbidden Knowledge family. We get keys to steel doors and cages that are locked that lead to shafts that go 65, 70 meters beneath the bedrock into subterranean chambers. We go into areas underground that are so vast and so wide that archaeologists call them avenues. There's one particular area where you can turn on a high power laser pen and it goes 300 meters and you can't see the end. And some of these tunnels lead all the way from Giza all the way to the ziggurat of Ur in Iraq, hundreds of miles away. So we take them underground to these areas, underground labyrinths. We take them into temples, underground crypts, sealed doors that have been closed sometimes 40, 50 years. One time I took somebody into a door that was closed for 100 years with ancient relics and artifacts and special stones inside. We take them to Elephantine Island and take them underneath a temple where the location of the Ark of the Covenant actually sat on top of a pedestal. And you see the anti-energetic stones that reflect the energy from the Ark inside the facility all around you, protecting the energy signature of the Ark. And in Germany, still they're digging right now they moved it to a different location on the same island. And Germany's been digging for 21 years, 7 days a week, by the way, paying the government every single day, looking for that other ark that's hidden there on the island as well. But it's a great tour. Then I took Turkey is incredible. I take people to Derinkuyu. It holds up to, or in its heyday, would hold up to 30,000 people underground. And there's a mystery and a secret, which I'll be talking about in my post conference, showing that Derinkuyu is not the only area there in Turkey and ancient Mesopotamia. It's just one of hundreds that exist in Turkey. and they're all interlinked with an underground, at the deepest level, of underground tunnel. So it's a network of these underground cities like Darren Kuyu. Darren Kuyu is just one of hundreds of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
It seems like you and Robert Edward Grant are going to have a great discussion on a couple of the panels that you're on at Conscious Life
Yeah.
Expo too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. My good friend Robert. I can't wait to see him again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is something is coming, and secret technology that you both
Mm,
will be on those panels as
yeah.
well. Yeah.
Well,
Nice.
let's take a look at this is just a little homeopathic dose of what Billy's offering, but he's got a lot to share. So let's start by going to his primary website, which is forbiddenknowledge.com. Now, notice that it's the number four, biddenknowledge.com.
Yeah.
And he's got an academy. So you click right away, and that takes you to the academy. And tell us a little bit about the academy. Who's your demographics? Who comes in, and what do you
Mhm.
provide?
Great, thank you. Yeah, the academy has been awesome. We have now 1,700 leaders in the academy. I don't call them students. We're all leaders. We build leaders, and they're everyone from from young men and women in their late teens up until we have people that are 84, 85 years old in there. So we have a vast range of people at vast and varying different levels of income. Some are very wealthy. Some are just barely making it. It's really about self-improvement, which self-improvement is the key, because if you look at the ancient principles of the Hermetics, we're talking about as within, so without. So as we change and evolve internally, the external world around us will also evolve and change, no matter what level you're at. So you can manifest abundance at any level, because abundance doesn't mean billions of dollars. What abundance actually means is all your needs are met when they need to be met. There's no
Mhm.
stress, there's no worry. You're manifesting as you go. And we teach the internal work, the inner work. And along with that, we then give what needs to be there to handle abundance as it approaches you, because you attract everything. Most people will attract abundance, but then because they don't have financial literacy, they can't sustain it. And when you can't sustain it because of ignorance, you will actually just lose it. So what happens is, sometimes people win a lottery. I think 90% of people that win the lottery are broke within the first 2 years. Why is that? They don't want to be broke. They just don't have financial literacy. And because they don't have financial literacy and also boundaries, they end up giving most of it away and blowing the rest of it. So we teach financial literacy. I wrote a book called Woke Doesn't Mean Broke, and it's not the political woke, it's the consciousness woke. It's 688 pages. It's a financial Bible. And this book breaks down in references every single aspect of financial literacy. And so I teach that hands-on within the academy as well. And so that people get a good understanding of how to manage money, different aspects of it. What are wills? What are trusts? What is not just regular banking, but a lot of people don't know about private banking, and they don't know about nonprofits. They don't know about what types of corporations they should and shouldn't file, and for what reasons and what purposes. And there's just so much. Whole life insurance policies, why whole life versus term life, all these things are inside there. So we give them the financial literacy, and we give them a lot of exercises and classes in ancient wisdom, metaphysics, spirituality, quantum physics, quantum mechanics. It's all wrapped into one. We're even teaching now AI automation. I provide apps in there that are accessible by the people within the academy that help improve their lives in various different ways. And everyone's really vibing. And then I do live Q&As, and I answer all their questions. Every week we give away $100 cash to a student that just happens to show up to one of the live mentoring sessions, and we bring on millionaire and billionaires to that are conscious to come in and talk and show them where they came from. We had a woman that was a janitor, just her own self-made janitor, cleaning toilets basically with her kids there because she couldn't afford daycare, till she got manifested a life of earning over $600 million, and how she got there along the way without giving up herself or losing any part of herself, but only becoming a better version of herself. And now her son just became a billionaire. He's 32 years old. So these are the
Wow.
kinds of people I bring in to influence and just advise and mentor, within the group too.
Oh, it's fantastic. And I'm going to go back to that page for a moment.
Yeah.
So I see
I,
that you've got a free
I just
trial
want
that you offer.
Mhm.
I
Sure.
think I'm going to buy a couple of memberships for the people I love. I mean, that sounds like an awesome gift to give the people you love.
Yeah, it's a great gift. They can start for free. There's a free trial, 7-day free trial. They can let me mentor them for 7 days. They can go through my courses and classes. I have over 150 hours of teaching in there, classes, courses, homework, there's assignments, there's everything. There's great testimonials there that people can click on and read, by the way. And if they don't like it within 7 days, they don't think it's worth it, they can just cancel. They haven't paid a dime.
And speaking of manifesting, I want to just acknowledge your new book, The
Thank
Manifestation
you.
Codes. It's now your sixth best-selling book. And
Yes.
you can find all of Billy's books on Amazon. And tell us, this just came out, what, 2 months ago, November of 2025. Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about the manifestation codes.
Yeah, the manifestation codes are primarily centered around two formulas that I really wholeheartedly believe in that I've been utilizing most of my life once I discovered the power of manifesting. And it really started when I was a little kid living down in Miami, Florida. I didn't have any money for the ice cream truck, and I just wanted to buy some bubble gum, some bazooka bubble gum to read the little comic strip on the inside of the wrapper. And living in abject poverty, I didn't even have 3 pennies to get one piece of gum. And so I remember saying to myself, what can I do to, get some money? And I'm only 7 years old. And I realized I don't even play with toys at the time. So I took all my toys and I went door to door with a little milk crate. And I was asking for donations to the neighborhood, to the parents in my neighborhood for toys. I just squared one block. Started with one house and went house to house till I got back to where I started. By the time I got back to where I started, I had $13 in my hand. And I realized then something miraculous happened. And I actually said out loud, it's me that's going to save me. I realized it in that moment. That was my epiphany moment in my life.
Wow.
Later on, I realized that I had a conscious thought. I took multiplied action because the action first was I went into the house and I gathered the toys. Then I had to put them in the crate. Then I had to go and get the courage to break my mom's rules by leaving the front yard and go door to door asking for donations. So I had to multiply that action. And once I multiplied the action, I had a manifestation. So the formula that I came up with and trademarked is CT multiplied by A equals M. Conscious thought multiplied by action equals manifestation. And that's the primary teaching within there. But also, I incorporated Nikola Tesla's 369 theorem to the book and within the chapters themselves. So, as you're reading and learning and doing the exercises that I give you in the book, because the book has homework and everything in it, then you're activating the 369 because I did it in a cycle of 369 following Nikola Tesla's system. So, it's both those formulas working together, and people are getting miraculous and amazing results from that book.
Wow.
Amazing.
Thank you.
There's so many things that you offer, and
Yeah.
I'm imagining after what you shared about your trips, people are going to want to know about that. So,
Mhm.
if you go back to forbiddenknowledge.com and click upcoming tours,
Yeah.
and there you go. I see that you've got tours to Egypt and
Yeah.
Turkey all scheduled.
Yeah.
July and October of 2026 are the next
Yeah.
ones, and if you click there, of course. That's where we
Mhm.
can learn all about it because, man, what you were sharing about being able to go underground into those places sounds
Mhm.
absolutely amazing.
Oh
Does.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, people love it. We've got the greatest tours. We every year we have a private party, so we'll go rent out an entire facility. One year was Karnak Temple. One year was Hebjetsit Temple. This year we're going to do the Sphinx and Giza and the pyramid. So we'll rent the whole thing out. Nobody will be allowed to come in or out. It'll just be the Forbidden Knowledge family. Red carpet, stage, entertainment, band, imported chefs, food cooked fresh right there. It'll be a great dinner outside underneath the stars. It'll be another amazing tour. Yeah.
Wow. Well,
I'll
thank you
share.
very much for sharing all this amazing wisdom, all that you're doing. Brandy,
Thank you.
any last thoughts you'd like to share before we wrap up?
I have one question that I've been
Okay.
wanting to ask you. I've noticed that you have started a first class space agency, and I was wondering,
Mhm.
I wanted to know more about that.
That's a good question. So what I did recently was I just rolled, and a press release is actually coming out next week. I rolled my first class space agency into the Forbidden Knowledge company now. It's my tech company. I started it years ago. It got a little bit held up when the global pandemic hit us
Uh-huh.
because actually my engineer and physicist were from another country, and they both had to go back to go under the lockdown situation. So that delayed it a little bit, but I've recently cranked it back up within the last year, and I just received my very first patent pending on some new technology that is space age. Now, the space agency itself isn't about launching rockets into space. There are probably, I don't know, maybe close to 400 space agencies around the world.
Hmm.
They provide product services, research and development, radiation hardened computer circuit boards, and all these different types of things that SpaceX or another European space agency might need, or products and services or technologies that could eventually make it into space for future space exploration. So, space agency doesn't mean you're always launching rockets into space. Just want to clarify that. The second
Okay.
thing is my technology is it's called the 4BK BioKey, and this technology is really space age, and it's for space, but also as many things that are developed for future of space travel also have a very positive effect on people on the ground. And so this technology, it's about the size of this phone, but it's got a rounded back and it has a mouthpiece on top, and you blow into it. And it has special types of scanners that they run on molecular biology, and they access the VOCs in the human breath, the volatile compounds, and they actually run those past the sensors. They run it through AI, and it can detect up to 60 biomarkers in the human body, six different types of cancers: colorectal, heart, liver, breast, you name it, kidney issues, also prostate issues. It'll tell you if you have onset Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, or dementia before you even been diagnosed. It can detect Lou Gehrig's disease before you've been fully diagnosed. It can detect so many illnesses in the body, of course, all respiratory and viral conditions. I would have known that I had pneumonia in Turkey in 2024, which is what sparked the whole research and development into this technology, because I died in 2024 in the hospital with pneumonia.
Oh,
I went to organ shutdown.
oh,
And
wow.
when they brought me back, the next day I was just laying in that bed in pain and agony. And I said, I wonder if I had a device in the desert that I could have just breathed into that could have detected I had a bacterial infection in my lungs. And the answer came back yes. And it took me down a rabbit hole of investigation into over 1,000 peer-reviewed documents and studies on that exact topic. And so I was just the person that took all that data and all that research and took $100 million worth of research and put it into one device. And that's one of the first brand new devices we have coming out, now that it's patent pending, underneath the tech company.
Wow. So are you moving into the health space now then?
Well, I'll continue. I have about 8 more inventions lined up behind this one. I can't disclose those because I haven't been patent pending or trademark yet, but
Yeah.
this one has been. So, but yeah, I have a lot of things that are going to enhance mankind coming out, and it's all I'm using AI in the right way. Put it that way.
Seems
Wow.
like you also should be added to our AI panel that we
That'd
have.
be great. Yeah, if I have
Yeah.
time, if it's within the schedule, I'd definitely love to hop on it.
Okay. I'll look into that.
Yeah,
Billy, I want to thank you so much for your amazing contributions to our
thank you.
awakening world on so many levels that you're contributing.
Thank
And
you.
I also appreciate that you do it with a lot of fun and a lot of joy, and that's a really important part of this too. So thank you, Brandy, for arranging for us to chat with Billy, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the
Yeah.
Conscious Life Expo.
Thank you. I'll see y'all very soon.
All right.
Bye. Thank you.